Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you like retro gaming, you definitely came to the right place. So the Atari 2600, the legendary console released in 1977, had some amazing shooters back in the day, including in the launch lineup. I did a video on the 10 best first-party shooters for the 2600. I will leave a link in the description here, but today we're talking about the top 10 third-party shooters for the console. Yes, games from Magic, Activision, and other third-party companies. I've got some predictable games on this list that absolutely had to make it. Also, some third-party picks. Let me know in the comments if you agree with these choices. Anyway, we're counting down from 10 to 1, the top 10 third-party shooters for the Atari 2600. Guys, if you like games from this era, you might want to check out my first book, Classic Home Video Games 1972 through 1984, covering the second generation of video game consoles. All right, guys, the Atari 2600 is often remembered for blocky graphics and simple games, but within its limitations, third-party developers managed to create some fun and even intense shooters that hold up today. Yes, a lot of these games, all the ones on this list, are still fun to play today. These games push the system to its limits with fast action, creative design, and surprising technical prowess. Yeah, some of these games actually look pretty good in addition to playing well. From Twitch-based insect swarms to Cold War-themed space invasions, these are the 10 best third-party shooters for the 2600. Again, this is a follow-up video to the one I did before. All right, guys, let's get to number 10. My CIB copy, Astro Blast from M Network, which was a publishing arm of Mattel, who created the Intellivision. Now, this game was originally developed for the Intellivision as Astro Smash, one of the system's most beloved games. Now, a lot of you guys probably have seen Sheldon Cooper on The Big Bang Theory wearing an Astro Blast or an Astro Smash t-shirt. Well, this is Astro Blast, the Atari 2600 conversion of Astro Smash, and it's a great game. Astro Blast was impressively adapted for the 2600. Debris and asteroids rain down from the sky at increasing speeds, and players must shoot or dodge them to survive. It's simple on the surface, like a lot of 2600 games were, but the pacing and difficulty scaling make it a great pick for high-score chasers. Compatibility with the Atari 2600 paddles, you know, those great rotary controllers, make it even better than Astro Smash. Yes, I like Astro Blast even better than the mighty Astro Smash. Yeah, it's a great pick at number 10. Next up at number 9, and I think a lot of you guys are going to think this is too low on the list, is Beam Rider from Activision. Beam Rider places you on a futuristic energy grid, which sets it apart from most shooters of this type, or all shooters of this type, really. Enemies come at you in lanes, and dodging is just as important as shooting. Your ship stops on these lanes, giving it a different feel from similar shooters. With clean visuals, layered enemy behavior, and twitch-heavy gameplay, it is one of the more sophisticated and stylish shooters on the system. Now, Beam Rider, I don't have a copy of it right now. I played it before, and I played a lot on my ColecoVision, but I don't have a copy of the Atari 2600 version. Guys, it's gotten to be a really expensive game now based on scarcity relative to the Activision library and the fact that it's a game that a lot of people love and want to play. It's in high demand. Carts go for $70 roughly, and for a complete copy, you'll pay at least $160. I would love to add Beam Rider to my collection. If I ever find a deal on it, I'm definitely gonna check it out. So yeah, I love Beam Rider on the Atari 2600 and ColecoVision. A great game. At number 9, maybe you think it's too low. Let me know in the comments if you do. Next up is Sequest, another great from Activision. This is a personal favorite of mine. I love Sequest. The game is essentially Defender underwater, but without scrolling. Sequest has you rescuing stranded divers while battling hostile submarines and fish. Limited oxygen adds urgency, and the fast-paced gameplay encourages risk-reward decision-making. Colorful, smooth, and addicting, it's one of Activision's tightest games. It can feel a little redundant after a while, which is why it's not higher on this list, but it's a great game and would make an excellent pairing with Shark on the Intellivision. You know how you pair a great wine with a particular type of pasta? You should pair Sequest with Shark, one of my favorite Intellivision games. Yeah, Sequest is one of those great arcade-like games for the Activision, or for the Atari 2600 from Activision. They were so great at recreating the arcade experience at home without these being actual arcade ports. They're just super arcade-like. Yeah, Sequest at number 8. At number 7, it's a choice from a company that made some pretty bad games for the 2600, but this one is really great. Worm War 1. You probably never heard of it, perhaps. Worm War 1 combines elements from several classic games into one awesome experience. Visually, it resembles Threshold, another really good third-party shooter for the console with its blocky graphics. But gameplay-wise, it feels more like a vertically scrolling version of Demon Attack. Yeah, it's a simplistic looking game, but it's awesome shooting action. You control a tank as it travels through the city of Teriyaki, which is kind of odd, blasting massive worms and blocks, another oddity. Yeah, back in the day, they would just throw anything. I mean, you're shooting giant worms and blocks. Sure, why not? You can speed up or slow down your vehicle, which was pretty unusual for the 2600, adding a layer of strategy. Going slow most of the time is the best strategy. Be careful not to shoot the gas stations, which let you refuel, much like the fuel depots in River Raid. Yeah, you actually refuel in this game as you go. It's a great scrolling shooter and a really sophisticated title in terms of gameplay for the 2600. While the visuals may be primitive, the action is a lot of fun. Yeah, Worm War. Be sure and let me know in the comments if you've heard of this game before. I caught wind of this game. I discovered it. I started playing it for the first time when I was writing my classic home video games book. Yeah, that's when I picked up the cart and played it so I could write about it for this book. Yeah, Worm War number 1. Definitely a dark horse pick, a hidden gem. Let me know in the comments if you actually played this game before. Guys, at number 6 is a really famous game for the Atari 2600, Demon Attack, the legendary Demon Attack from Imagic. Demon Attack wowed players with its enemy animations. Yeah, you'd look at it and go, wow, it's a gorgeous game. It has some of the best creature graphics on the 2600 with swooping, morphing alien attackers and escalating difficulty. This fixed screen shooter felt like a true arcade experience. Yes, much like Activision, Imagic made arcade-like games for the 2600 without actually adapting arcade games to the console. Just remarkable. Fans of Phoenix and Galaga will absolutely love Demon Attack. I remember reading rave reviews about this game in the pages of Electronic Games magazine. Yeah, when Demon Attack first came out, it was considered a AAA title, one of the greatest shooters of all time, and still today it's a lot of fun to play and it looks gorgeous. I mean, the backgrounds are just solid black, but man, those beautifully animated alien invaders, just gorgeous. And if you've never played Demon Attack, but you love Galaga and Galaxian and games like that, you have got to check out Demon Attack. It's a great game. I love the Intellivision game version as well, which actually has a giant mothership at the top. Yeah, Demon Attack at number 6. All right, guys, at number 5, we're getting into some really elite territory here. Communist Mutants from Space from Starpath. Maybe you've never heard of this game. It sounds like a 50s science fiction movie, which I love. I love the title. Cold War meets Cosmic Chaos. Released by Starpath for their Supercharger add-on, this fixed screen shooter puts you in a battle against mutated alien invaders with a Cold War twist. It stands out for its customizable difficulty, fast-paced gameplay, and even includes voice elements, an extremely rare feature for the 2600. It has 576 gameplay variations, including guided fire, penetrating missiles, shields, and time warp, which slows down enemies. Yeah, if you thought 112 game variations for Space Invaders was a lot, you ain't seen nothing yet with Communist Mutants from Space. Just a fantastic, phenomenal game. As a big fan of science fiction B-movies of the 50s, I love the title and I love this game. And again, if you like Galaga, Phoenix, Space Invaders, those types of games, you will love Communist Mutants from Space. It's released for the StarPath Supercharger on the 2600, which allowed the console to have more sophisticated graphics and sounds. Perhaps you've never played this game, and I played it via Stella Gets a New Brain, the CD. So Supercharger games are compatible with like an audio cassette recorder. The games are on cassette, and that's how you play them. You hook it to your 2600. Well, later, Stella Gets a New Brain was compatible with like CD players, and you could play it via that way on your 2600. I highly recommend it. Maybe check out eBay or something for Stella Gets a New Brain so you can play the StarPath Supercharger games on your 2600. Yeah, weighing in at number 5, Communist Mutants from Space. All right, guys, next up at number 4, we're really getting down to it. Wizard of War from CBS Electronics. Just an absolutely phenomenal game. This is one of Joe Santulli's favorite games of all time. He loves The Incredible Wizard on the Bally Astrocade, which is basically a port of Wizard of War, an unauthorized port. But Wizard of War on the 2600, just a fantastic arcade port. If you do a direct comparison to the Bally Midway Maze Shooter, Wizard of War for the 2600 is missing some components. It doesn't have the computer-controlled warrior. It's easier, which is a good thing and for some people because it makes it more accessible. And the enemies are slow and kind of goofy looking and they flicker. However, like all great Atari 2600 arcade ports, it captures the feel and the fun of the game. It captures the essential experience of Wizard of War on your 2600. The 2-player simultaneous game is absolutely essential for any gamer. Some of the best mano-a-mano action outside of combat. Just an incredible game, Wizard of War. The Incredible Wizard on Bally Astrocade, like I said, is very similar. So if you don't have access to that, you probably don't have an Astrocade in your collection, but you could emulate it. But play Wizard of War on the 2600. It's a spectacular port of one of the greatest maze shooters of all time. Yeah, this list comprises not just shmups, as a lot of times the scrolling shooters are called, or fixed screen shooters like Space Invaders and things like that. That's a first-party title, so it doesn't count, Space Invaders. Wizard of War is a maze shooter, and I love this genre, and it's definitely one of the greatest maze shooters of all time. So yeah, Wizard of War at number 4. Number 3 is another Activision title, The Mighty Chopper Command, often described as Defender in the Desert, and it actually scrolls unlike Sequest. Just a fantastic game. Chopper Command has you flying a helicopter across a scrolling landscape, blasting enemy aircraft while protecting a convoy of trucks below. Crisp controls and graphics, parallax scrolling, and intense gameplay make it a fun and challenging game. It's an original game, not based on a coin-op, but it feels arcade-like. Again, Activision does such a great game with arcade-style action. More intense than anything on the Intellivision or ColecoVision. Yeah, Chopper Command is, rapid fire, it's fast and fun, and it's more dynamic. Now, you guys know I love the Intellivision and ColecoVision, but there's nothing quite this intense on those systems as Chopper Command for the Atari 2600. Number 3, yeah, we're getting down to it, folks. At number 2, we've got another dark horse pick, Turmoil from 20th Century Fox. Guys, you have got to track down a copy of this game or emulate it or something. It is so amazing. It's definitely a hidden gem for the console. Turmoil throws you into a vertical corridor packed with enemies, zooming in from both sides. It's super original. You're constantly zipping up and down, dodging threats, shooting left and right, and going down tunnels to quickly grab bonus items. It's frantic, it's unpredictable, and the gameplay is pure chaotic fun. The graphics are crisp and colorful. It is one of the best games on the system. Again, the first time I played this was when I was researching my classic home video games book, the first book in the series, and I found it to be just fantastic. I had heard previously to that it was a great game, that it was a hidden gem, that it was phenomenal, and it absolutely is. I believe it deserves a place at number 2 on this list. Let me know in the comments if you think otherwise. Now, the playfield kind of layout is sort of like Taz on the 2600, but it's a much different game, a shooter. Fantastic. Definitely, in my opinion, the second best third-party shooter for this platform. Now, guys, there is only one choice at number 1 in this list. I don't know how you could disagree otherwise. It is River Raid, again by Activision, one of the greatest games, in my opinion, of all time. It's the undisputed king of Atari 2600 shooters. River Raid was the first vertical scrolling shooter for a home console, blending action and resource management. You fly over the river of no return, taking out bridges and enemies, grabbing fuel when you can. Now, flying over the fuel depots slowly adds even more fuel to your reservoir, a great strategic element there. The helicopters, tanks, planes, and other enemies are simplistic, but instantly recognizable. Yeah, I think it has pretty nice graphics. It was technically groundbreaking and incredibly fun, proving just how much depth Activision could squeeze out of an Atari 2600 cartridge. It's one of my favorite, most replayed games of all time for any system. Yeah, River Raid is that great. Now, if you have a different number one, please let me know in the comments. Now, guys, there are some honorable mentions I feel like I have to talk about here. Ones that didn't quite make the top 10, but are ones I still play and still enjoy today. Atlantis by Imagic. It's a stunning game on its own with fantastic graphics, but its Intellivision counterpart offers more complexity and is a much better game. Yeah, the reason Atlantis didn't make the cut here, one of the reasons, is because the Intellivision version is simply better. Still, the Atari one is a lot of fun. Mega Mania from Activision, it's great fun, but again, I prefer the version for a different console, the Atari 5200 version, where the elements that you're shooting at are more recognizable. And Mega Mania, when I was researching this video and playing all these games, replaying them, Mega Mania just didn't hold up next to the 10 on this list. It's just not as good. I love this game. It's a nostalgic favorite for me, but it's didn't quite make the cut. Spider Fighter. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to think that belongs in the top 10. It's dynamic, it's colorful, you protect fruit, but the fruit is never really in any danger, so it's just about the shooting. So it's kind of flawed in that sense. Plus, it's just a little too easy, Spider Fighter, but it's a lot of fun. Threshold for Tiger Vision. It's a stripped down version of the Apple II game. It's got intense shooting action, but didn't quite make the cut. And for you eagle eyes here that look at stuff back here, you see the Empire Strikes Back for the 2600. That one almost made the cut as well. All right, guys, be sure and let me know in the comments what your favorite third-party shooter for the Atari 2600 is. Let me know in the comments if I got any of these picks wrong in your opinion. Give me your entire top 10 list. I would love to hear from you. All right, guys, thanks for liking. Thank you for subscribing, and just thanks for being you. And again, in the description, check out my list of top 10 first-party shooters for the Atari 2600. All right, guys, y'all have a good one.